everybody. This is Meagan reporting with Alexander Gurman Productions, and I'm here today with Donna Morales, who's a very talented actress. Donna has acted in a range of productions. She acts in productions that are suitable for general audiences and adults, and she also does a lot of work with children's theater. And in March, we decided to honor Donna by presenting her with an award for her contributions to the theater, specifically children's theater. So, Donna, what do you enjoy most about being an actress?
Megan, the thing I enjoy most about being an actress is being able to bring the theater and live theater especially to children in order to incorporate and integrate literacy by bringing in the arts. That has been something that I have enjoyed over the years, especially being an early childhood teacher. Being able to bring theater to audiences also who wouldn't necessarily have an opportunity to go to the theater to see a Broadway show. I do live theater across Long Island and the boroughs of New York in regional theater, and it allows people to go out and see their favorite classic musical and or children's show without having to really maybe travel far or have a large expense.
Yes, it's very true. New York does a lot of great with Donna a little later on, so stay tuned for that. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Meagan with Alexander Gurman Productions, and today I'm here with multi-talented actress Donna Morales.
Thank you very much.
Donna has been involved in a number of theatrical productions. She's involved now in film, and she started out as a dancer. So Donna has really contributed a lot to the arts in and around New York and elsewhere. So Donna, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having
and
me, Megan.
First and foremost, how did you get into the arts? When did you figure out, I want to be a dancer? And then how did that evolve into acting?
It started when I was 6 years old and I took my first ballet class. I was hooked. I grew up in a dance studio. I started very young at 6 years old, taking various forms of dance, your ballet being the most formidable one, tap, jazz, and then I found out that I was a little bit of a gymnast because I was always getting into trouble, tumbling off of things I shouldn't have been tumbling off of, so my parents decided to put me into acrobatic and gymnastic classes. So that's how it started. My later years, I continued in college. I was a theater dance major, but before I entered college, during high school, I studied dance at the BOCES Cultural Performing Arts Center. All forms. It was mostly ballet as your foundation, but I studied musical theater, I studied acting, singing, and that's where I got my training from. So it was in high school, and my first professional dance company was the Iglevsky Ballet Company way back in the late 70s, early 80s. I did 2 years with Iglevsky Ballet, and I moved on from there. I owned my own dance studio, then started a family and had to give it up for a while, but I managed to parlay my performing arts career into a teaching career. I spent 25 and a half years with the New York City Department of Education as an early childhood educator, and so every single day I was entertaining an audience of 36 4-year-olds because I taught pre-K.
That in of itself is like the biggest role you'll ever play.
So I found a way to take my art and integrate it with education, especially with young learners. There are so many ways for them to learn, and so using theater arts was a way I was able to touch on literacy and social skills.
This is very important. I'm actually working on a PhD right now in educational psychology, and my areas of interest, entertainment education and gamification or games-based learning. And the reason I'm interested in these areas is because it has been proven time and time again that people learn better when they're engaged or entertained. It's considered like intrinsic motivation. And when you take small children, especially like 4-year-olds, and you tell them to sit at a desk and write on a piece of paper, they get bored, they get fidgety, they turn off an education. You're so much better off if you give them a chance to interact. You give them something that they enjoy reading. That's why children's books are so effective, because they get into the story and they enjoy it. And did you find that being an actress that, by engaging kids, especially with creative media, you were able to subsequently teach them more, even academic lessons in that way?
Absolutely. We all have varied modalities for learning. And when you're dealing with young children, you have to tap in as an early childhood educator into those modalities for learning in order to promote language skills, in order to promote social skills. It's very important to integrate the arts, because children at 4 years old shouldn't be sitting at desks. They should be playing. The work of a child is exactly learning through play. And being able to use the arts, for example, every day, story time was interactive because we didn't just read the story and do a read aloud or a shared read. We acted out the story because you had to reach those children who weren't as verbal due to language deficits, or they were just shy, or they had selective muteness. So using the arts, using music, using dance, using the body kinesthetically allowed them to do what comes natural to them.
It's very important. And, as I've interviewed a number of people about this, but some other actresses have mentioned that, for example, the theater helps people with empathy, seeing things through another person's perspective. And because, when you take on the role of a character, you have to think in the mindset of that character. And, I can't act, but I can write. And as a writer, you do the same thing. You kind of, write a character from a specific way. So did you find that when you were teaching kids and you were having them act out the roles, that helped them learn things about empathy and perspective and, characterization? How much do you think that helped them on an emotional level?
It helped them tremendously on an emotional level because we would sit and discuss how it made them feel as they were playing a particular role or acting out a character in a story. For example, if we were reading Three Billy Goats Gruff, I would ask them, what do you think the ogre was feeling while he was under that bridge? Maybe that's why he was so mean. And ask the child, how did you feel playing the ogre? How did it make you feel to be sitting, under the bridge, which was basically a pretend table? It was a table and it was our pretend bridge. But allowing them to act it out and use their bodies and tap into those feelings really does create a social, emotional level within them that allows them to go, maybe I won't be so mean to the child sitting next to me. Maybe I will share the blocks a little more.
It makes a big difference. And those social emotional lessons are so important because those are the kind of social and collaborative skills that we need to survive in everyday life. You need that in every field. And there's a lot of adults that forget that in today's world, which is embarrassing, but true.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a book a long time ago. It was everything I learned in kindergarten. Well, in my case, everything that gets learned is now it's in pre-K or in even earlier than that, because now we have children in daycare centers, and we have to really tap into their developmental abilities at a very young age, their language, their social, their physical abilities. We really are focusing on it. Yes.
So now from your teaching and acting out in the classrooms, this led to you actually becoming an actress in children's theater. I mean, you do a range of acting work, but you do a lot of work in children's theater. So what is it about, how is children's theater different from, I guess, general audience or regular theater? And what do you like working with the most with children's theater? What is it specifically about that genre?
Because it's an extension of my classroom. Although I'm a retired teacher, I'm still a teacher. Being an actress allows me to take that genre of children's theater and still teach and allow children to stretch their minds through story and through movement on stage by playing the characters. So me as a character actress, it allows me to teach those children the same thing that I used to teach them, only now I'm on the stage instead of sitting in front of them on a carpet in a classroom.
And then you also do a lot of work in general theater, like a theater that's good for all ages and adults. And you have mentioned that you're a character actress. So what type of roles do you most enjoy playing? And what would be your dream role if you could play anything?
Oh my goodness. I've been known as a character chameleon. You give me a role, and there isn't any favorite role I have. Just give me a role. All of them are my favorites. I love a challenge. Especially being a silver statue in your play. It allows me to really, it allowed me to stretch. I had to really think about, if I were this inanimate object who became alive and animated, how would I feel? How do I feel towards my other two statues that are standing next to me? And why do we have this rivalry? Being a character actress is the most fun because it really allows me to stretch. And every single day, I work at my craft through people watching. I'm on the railroad, I'm people watching. I'm walking down the street, I'm people watching. A lot of people who I hang out with, you're staring again. I'm not staring. I'm people watching. I'm doing research. I want to know.
As a writer, I do the same exact thing. I'm telling you, I think every creative person does that. There's so much around you. You just get inspired by anything can inspire you for a character or something. A pair of shoes, the name of a sign. People and mannerisms. Certain mannerisms really stick in your mind if you observe people.
Acting is more than just the words on the page. It's more than just the script. You have to take the written word on that script and make it come alive. Make the writer's intentions come alive. And as an actress, I feel that when I am given a role and I research it and I become that character and I embody that character and I bring that character to life, that I am doing due diligence to the creator of that piece.
Absolutely. And I feel the same way. When I saw you act out my work, it's magical to watch an actress act out your words. But now you started out as a dancer. Yes. You got into teaching children. You got into children's theater. Mm-hmm. And then how did you get more into regular theater, general theater? And how much has it? Main stages. And how much has it, as being in New York, helped you find venues in which to perform?
I started, believe it or not, I jumped back into main stage theater just by accident back in 2007. It has always been with me, but it wasn't until I met someone who was actually doing a production of Sweet Charity, and we shared the same dance class at a gym, and she just watched me dance, and she had invited me into the production as one of the ensemble people, and I was hooked. Since 2007, I've been doing main stage productions at various community and regional theaters across Long Island and the boroughs, and also here in New York City. I love doing main stage. One of the regional companies I work for is a touring company, and the mission of this touring company is to bring theater to audiences that don't necessarily have the opportunity to go see main stage live productions on Broadway because of financial constraints or it's just being too far. It's mostly elderly people. So we bring theater to them by way of touring, and we do the main stage musicals with live music. Thank you. I'm so sorry. with a live orchestra. We have live orchestras. Thank you very much. We have live orchestra, and even if we have a piano player and a guitar player and a drummer, it's wonderful. Exactly.
And they all play into each other. Like the writers need the actors, and the actors need the musicians. I mean, it's very, very collaborative. It's amazing, really. And it is great to give people the opportunity to engage with the arts, even if they wouldn't normally have the opportunity. And New York is really good about that. There are many opportunities. But aside from theater work, you are now getting more into film. And you've been working on a project recently. So can you tell us a little bit about your foray into films and movies?
Yes. Last year, I had a wonderful opportunity to land a supporting role in a feature film, my first feature film, and I was introduced to Violetta Licari, who is the producer and director and writer of Raven Reels Productions, and she graced me with this beautiful part in one of her films called Marley. It was her feature film Marley. She also, this past January, reached out to me again to ask me if I would be interested in a project. It's a docudrama, and it's called Gone, A Breach of Peace, which focuses on domestic violence. So I said yes. There's only like 4 or 5 characters, but it's a docudrama that is very near and dear to me. It focuses on domestic violence on all parts. And we just got finished wrapping that a couple of weeks ago. I also am very much an advocate of women in film, and I just have my first affiliation with Women in Film and Television in the Tampa Bay. Yes. Thank you very much. I'm very proud of that. I feel that women in the film industry have a very big voice and a very big role to play. They have a lot to offer, and there are so many women who are writing. You yourself, as a writer, should know that, and want your pieces put out there and performed, and just your messages getting across. On many different levels, so it's very important.
Again, that collaboration
Absolutely.
thing. We all need to help one another, and these organizations help as well. So thank you so much for coming in today and discussing this. I'm so excited to see your project and hear more about your future work. And I'm really impressed by everything that you do. You're a wonderful, wonderful actress. So thank you for coming in, and thank you everybody for watching. And look out for more with Donna Morales soon. Bye.